Hello and welcome to StartersPoint. Our first video at StartersPoint was January 15, 2020. And for if you've watched or you know what StartersPoint is about, it's basically a YouTube channel that we put together for parents. Okay. The goal for StartersPoint was to be the YouTube channel, or is to be the YouTube channel for Starterstech, where parents can gain information on what their children are doing in terms of where they've gotten to in their journey, what other students are doing, what's happening at Starterstech. So StartersPoint basically is supposed to be an all-in-one content hub and information hub for parents in Starterstech. Yeah. So our first video, as I said, was in January 15th, where I think we introduced the channel, or maybe we just tested out the channel, because our first two videos uploaded weren't really precise content. Okay, so we are at the end of the year 2020. Today's 31st of December, and I feel like, okay, let me do a review of the year on StartersPoint, basically, so that, I mean, if this is your first time, you have an idea what StartersTech is all about and where we have come from, especially in 2020. So yeah, let's go into it. Review for 2020 StartersTech. Okay, so in the beginning of the year, as usual, we were working with schools. StartersTech's main market or clients have been schools for a long time now. That has usually formed like 70% of our clientele, and we all know the pandemic hit, so things changed a bit. So when COVID hit, we tried to make StartersPoint a place where we can create content for students, and we did that a few times, but that didn't really catch on very well. So fast forward, our focus turned a little to our one-on-one clients more. Okay, so at first we had like one-on-one clients and we had school clients, but after the pandemic, focus was more on school clients, and we all know what the pandemic did in different ways, and things started changed too. So I won't go deep into it. So one of the things that we started doing was to focus more on online classes that was via Zoom, and we also started working on our online academy platform. Then home tuition delayed for a while and then picked up again for some clients, not for all clients. Then also we got the chance to be part of a couple of competitions, actually two competitions. The Dream Oval African Code, which is organized by Dream Oval, which was an Africa competition, and we actually won the Ghana version of it. Hence the children's application, or the game they created, has been taken to the Africa round. So that was a good time for us. That was a good time for the kids and for those who were part of it. And we also enrolled in the Coda Z robotics competition, which was a virtual robotics competition. And for that, we got to the quarterfinals. Actually, we had two teams in it. One got to the round 16 stage, and then one got to the quarterfinals. So that was our end point in that competition. It was our first time, and honestly, I was proud of um, where we were, where the kids were able to get to at the end of the day. So the year has been pretty exciting, even though the the pandemic came in, but it changed a lot of things, and getting to the end of the year got pretty exciting. Now, apart from Starterstech, for some of you will know that Starterstech has, let me call it, sister companies. Other services or product, or let me say companies, came out of Starterstech or do come out of Starterstech, and one of the ones that I want to talk about is Next Gen Creatives. So Next Gen Creatives is our, should I say, illustration animation company. Basically, we tell stories, create storybooks, create animations, and it's still centered around children and teenagers. And this year has been interesting. Once again, once again, we have illustrated a couple of stories. I think we illustrated two storybooks for external clients, and we created two drawing books. That is everyday drawing and creative drawing. Creative drawing, a more technical based book. Everyday drawing, one for everyone who just likes to draw and wants to draw something. So all kids can use everyday drawing, but children who actually have the talent and want to get into drawing, we recommend creative drawing for them. So these two books were scheduled to release a third book, being Fixes, for this year, but that didn't happen, and it will go into 2021. So Fixes is basically a story of a family that is, let me say, engineering savvy or technically savvy. Okay, so the goal is to bring engineering and concepts of engineering to the house. Okay, whether it's electronics, whether it's computer programming, whatever it is, the goal is to talk about these things using a family of four. Okay, and they like to fix things in the house. So through the process of these things, and the story is told of different scenarios where maybe something got spoiled at home, or one kid was trying to learn something, or the dad was trying to do something, and we narrate these stories and we use it to teach the kids through the storybooks about various engineering concepts and technical things which we feel they should know. So yeah, so that's it for Fixes. Um, Before Fixes, our first storybook actually was um, periodic table, periodic table, which was called Tableau Periodic. Um, the first episode being Agon's reaction. So Tableau Periodic, just to give you a background, it's about the periodic table. It's a way we've put the periodic table in we've put it in a fiction story, basically, so that children and teenagers can read it just like a normal storybook and gain as much information about the periodic table um, um, that they can at their age. So that was our first storybook, and we for that we were scheduled to do a second one, which didn't happen this year. Hopefully in 2021 that would happen, and we also looking at changing the like title, the title of the series from Tableau Periodic to the Elementals. So that's also something that we are looking at. So that has been it for Next Gen Creatives, which is a company that was derived from Starterstech. The reason being that we had worked with children for a while, or I had worked with children for a while, and I realized that some of the children um, um, learned in different ways. In terms of, some learn better when it's in a story form. So that's why Next Gen Creatives came about. And Next Gen Creatives in itself has transformed to other things. It's not just about telling science stories, but it's now um, focused, or it has become the technical arm for illustration and animation. Again, but Starterstechstill uses Next Gen Creatives as its um, um, illustration and animation firm for telling our STEM stories. Okay, so what's in store for 2021? Let me just get into that. So, um, during COVID, one of the things that we started doing was to getting our online academy platform ready, and that has taken a way longer time than I expected. But hopefully, we should run the pilot in January. So I've actually been working hard trying to get it done before we entered January. But today's 31st, then surely it is going it's January. So, but then I'm hoping that the first week of January, we can deploy it, because we resume on the 4th. Okay, we resume all activities on the 4th. So the first week of January, I'm hoping that we can deploy it in its alpha stage and have our children start using the online academy platform. So the online academy platform, basically what's going to happen is that all our content is going to be there, and as a teacher teaches, that the student can use an online platform um, to one, just to, in terms of what the teacher has taught, to revise and make sure that he or she doesn't forget, to do assignments, to three, to even go ahead of the lesson, basically. So it's basically like the children can now have the teachers with them all the time, because the lessons are already pre-recorded on our online platform. Also, too, for that's after we've passed the alpha and beta stage, when it's now open to everyone, even people who are not directly part of like Starterstech or don't have their children can now get access to our lessons. You get me? At a cost. It certainly won't be. It will be way lesser than how much we charge for like a, a home tuition program. You get me? So the good part about it is that it makes it easy, accessibility, and those things become better in terms of you don't need a teacher there and all that. So, but for us, it's more as a supplement, or it acts more as a way to help our students. You get me? Learn better. Okay, with the content that we are producing for them. So that's this for starters for online academy. We also have a new thing called STEM in a Box coming up this year, where each month a kid receives a package. Okay, that's full of STEM activities, and learns through a lot of playing and exploration. So, okay, so that's the idea of STEM in a Box. Hopefully, I'll talk more about it later. So these are the two things coming up for next gen. For next gen creatives, there's things have a lot of things have changed internally in next gen creatives, but in spite of that, for next gen creatives this year, we are hoping to release fixes, first version of fixes. We are hoping to release a second episode of fixes. So first and second episode of fixes. We are also hoping to redo the elementals. So the tableau periodic is what we are changing to elementals. We are hoping to redo elementals and release episode 2 of the elementals. We have some other stories for next gen creatives that have not even been illustrated or anything. So all those things are there. Not sure. I can't tell into the year if those ones will come out, but for the ones I've said already, those I am pretty sure. So yeah, so that is basically it for the rest of the year. We hoping to enter our first physical robotics competition this year. That is RoboFest. We're hoping to be part of RoboFest this year. That's physical robotics competition. Yeah, we in terms of schools, we're not sure how things are going to go yet, but we have our fingers crossed and hoping, trusting God for the best. also the last time, our last with our schools, we ended at the previous year or in the beginning of the year. Our students were about to do their demonstrations and presentations on different things. The older students were working with ultrasonic sensors and photoresistors and had done some projects on it. The middle group students were working with their robotic cars and were working with a line follower and ultrasonic sensor, also how a robot uses the line follower and the ultrasonic sensor. And the younger students were doing mechanical projects with Lego. So that's where we got to. We actually finished, but then we were preparing for their presentations, and that didn't we didn't get to do the kids didn't get to do their presentations or their demonstrations because of the pandemic. So when the term resumes, it's possible we will round that up because we don't want to leave that hanging. So we're likely to round that up with the students, have them do their presentations and demonstrations and all that. So it will require a little bit of revision before they do it. So that the term or the semester will be kind of mixed with old and new things for the kids. So we're hoping that this year will be great, and hopefully maybe we'll do more videos on Starters Point, depending if there's more videos to do. But then for parents, there's so much content on Starters Point for you yourself and for your kids, basically because we always uploading what our students are doing on Starters Point. So then you always need to check it out and see, or even if it's not your kid, maybe what other kids are doing. You get to see people doing different things and see their progress. Yeah, so it's exciting. Yeah, we're hoping for the best in 2021. We hoping that all our students will do awesome. And one of our key is that we recognize that all children are different, hence no child is treated the same as the other based on performance. It's not really about performance, it's more about exploration, the kids discovering themselves and being the best of themselves. Basically, that is what we try to get at, the children being the best versions of themselves. So the first thing we try to do is to help a child discover him or herself in line with tech, in line with illustrations and all. And also let me just add that Starterstech, we are beginning to open up into the arts in terms of skill wise. So now some students will be able to do design in terms of like website design and things like that. So it will not just be in terms of web design and game design. It will not just be the writing of the code and all that, but we will give more attention to design for students who have that affinity more and more as well. Okay, so I think that is it. If you haven't already subscribed on the channel, kindly subscribe so that you stay up to date, and also if possible hit the notification button as well if you want to hit the notification button so that you get a message when we upload a video. But if you don't want that that kind of notifications on your phone, you don't have to. You just come back and check like what's happening on StartersPoint when you want to. So thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to me, and I'll see you in 2021. Bye.